theoretically, I will be, you know, reading trashy books in a 5-star hotel. 5 stars. 5 stars. I think typically whenever I go and stay places, I think the nicest place that I've ever stayed is like just a 3-star Marriott. Like, I don't really know. Like, yes, I have been to really nice places, but I'm typically chilling in an Airbnb. Like, I'm not at a resort. Like, I don't think I've ever been anywhere like this in my entire life. And it's even crazier because there is literally a dress code to walk around. So I had to fully get dressed, and this outfit is more on the casual side. Casual. To me, it's really fancy and elegant, but whatever. I'm here with my husband, and it is a work trip for him. So he's gonna be doing like a lot of like conferences, sitting down, like doing meetings, all that kind of stuff. And I will be attending certain things with him, and then for the rest of the time, I'm just gonna be doing whatever I want. This morning I did go and try to find breakfast, but unfortunately there was nowhere to sit, so I basically just like got breakfast and then carried it all the way back to my room, which was a little like awkward and antisocial of me, but like I'm really just not gonna invite myself to sit with people, and I kind of feel like I'm all socialed out. This whole thing is about like a lot of it's about making connections and stuff like that, and I feel like last night I made so many introductories that I'm just like really exhausted from that. I mean, it's not bad, it's just like not my forte. For right now, I have about an hour to kill before I have to go to a luncheon. We are going to be reading a lot while we're here. I thought just like the juxtaposition of reading werewolf romances was just kind of hilarious. Like, honestly, the stuff that I've seen people reading, it's the classics. It's self-help to the max. It is improving yourself and learning how to network. It's finance. It's just like in those genres that like, one, I probably wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole, and two, like just literally the juxtaposition of somebody reading Moby Dick and then I'm over here like hilarious. Like, I'm sorry, I don't care who you are, that's objectively funny. Let's enjoy this. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I have been waiting for this. I was obsessed with Bride. I was Bride's #1 fangirl when it came out. People were like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. And I was like, no, I'm actually in love. And that also could be because I have Ali Hazelwood bias. Like, anything that she writes, I will read it, even if it is not my favorite. The only book of hers that I've really not enjoyed was her most recent release, the summer book. I genuinely cannot remember the name. It's slipping right off the top of my dome. I made a really shitty cup of coffee at that thing because I felt really rushed. There was literally like a mom in there with her kids. There were kids riding bikes. I was like, I'm getting like overwhelmed. I'm just trying to get a croissant. But yeah, let's read. We actually have a terrace, a balcony, and genuinely it kind of looks like what in my brain, like I've never gone to like Greece or anything, but the buildings here are kind of resemblant of that. Like, this is a beach town, so it is kind of like resembling that. The white, the architecture, the arches in the rooms, like it just makes you think of it, you know. But we're gonna go read outside. It's a little windy, but I want to like enjoy the fresh air. Like, let's do it. Read outside, unbothered, and there's no way anyone's gonna be looking at me, and I love that. I figured I would give you a synopsis of the book, and then I'm honestly gonna play Sims. Okay, so if you did not read Bride, this is the sequel to Bride. I don't think you necessarily need it to enjoy the book. It is kind of going back through and explaining some of the things that happened. However, you probably should read it. It would just be best. First book, Bride, it was about Misery, and she was a vampire who was kind of like forced into a werewolf, a marriage with a werewolf, and then it turns out they were was like some like kind of like a mystery aspect to it, so some surprises that I didn't really see coming, but it was really good, really juicy. I really enjoyed it. And this one is about her best friend who is a human werewolf hybrid. In this world, I saw somebody, they were like, what do you mean she's a werewolf hybrid? Aren't most werewolves human hybrids, but in this world there are humans, and then there's werewolves, and then there's vampires, and she is a mixture, and everyone is trying to hunt her down and do experiments on her. Her mate is actually the of this clan or whatever, and he is obviously trying to protect her. It literally opens up with a moment of that needing to happen, and so far I'm really enjoying it. I'm really tired, like I'm so tired, and I haven't had like an iced coffee or anything. I've been just doing like the room coffees, and this is like basically 2 espresso shots in a cup, and I've been trying to make a latte, and it's really difficult. I have not been able to find like a coffee shop or anything because I'm not really wanting to go and sit down at a restaurant by myself and just get a drink. That feels kind of like ridiculous to me, but I'm gonna do that tomorrow. Like I'm gonna go get breakfast and stuff. I walked around a little bit, I filmed what I could, but it has been rainy all day. It's been so rainy, so breezy. All of our outdoor activities were canceled and moved indoors, so we're not getting, we were supposed to have like lunch by the water, which would have been nice, but we had it indoors and we could still see the ocean, and it was like the waves were insane. Gonna chill, gonna finish this, gonna play Sims, and then we'll see what we get into. My favorite thing to play right now is I have like the vet packet, and I have like my own little vet clinic, and it's my favorite thing to do on here. But here is the backyard for the dogs. We'll take this down. This is like a little room. You make like the exam table stuff so that you don't have to sit there and coax them into feeling fine the whole time. We have the MRI, and then I have 2 exam rooms, honestly, just so I'm able to see multiple patients, because otherwise you're seeing like one at a time, because I swear the employees don't work. And then we have this little cutie area, little fridge, so cute. And then in here you can make little treats and put them in here. I don't currently have any, but you also make them back there. But it's so cute. This is my favorite thing to do on Sims. And open. And you start with a really low stars, and you have to work your way up, and there's all kind of little point systems, so based on what you do you get points that you can get all this done. What's in my purse? Mints. Room card. Lip gloss. Okay, bathroom chat, I guess. But I just went to breakfast. It was super fun. I was actually social on my own. Hold your applause. But I am going to do a bath and just kind of relax, and I'm probably going to read that way, because they did provide all of this cutie stuff to like put in here, so gonna do that, and then honestly might just relax and hang out, see what's shaking. But I think I'm gonna make a coffee. I had one for breakfast, but it got really watery really fast, so I didn't really get to enjoy it, and I'm still very tired, and I don't think that I have enough time to nap or anything, so. It has literally been such a restorative day from the start, going to get breakfast and then just like relaxing, doing like my little spa day, because I couldn't actually go to the spa because they were booked up. And then I'm actually went on a walk after reading for a bit. I ordered room service, and that'll be here soon, and then I'm just gonna read. Maybe I'll watch a movie. I don't know. I'm also kind of feeling a nap. I was gonna film this outside, but there is a man down on the balcony below us, and he's literally napping outside. I wish we had a couch out there. That would have been the move. We're just vibing. So far the book is really good. It's just so Ali Hazelwood. The male main character, he is serving up some one-liners that are very questionable.
Excuse me, what the actual fuck?
Back home and I feel like I can finally talk at an appropriate volume. I've been editing the video and this is like the final clip that I have to put in. I was like, am I low-key whispering in all these clips? So if you've actually managed to get to this point in the video, I apologize. I didn't realize that I was like self-policing myself and like making myself talk quieter. I actually thought that I was talking way louder. I did just want to wrap up the book and it was so good. It was so good to me. I was trying to be brave. I really was trying to be brave. I'm so sorry. Maybe if this ever becomes like a real thing for me, I won't mind doing it in public, so I'm like, I have to. But because we were like seeing people everywhere we know and we kept meeting people and then I would see them out in public, I was like, this is embarrassing. I cannot film myself. But in a couple of the places I have filmed, I was reading in those locations. So just know that like I was vibing, although you might not have got to see it. I'm sorry, I know that's probably, it's not fun for you. So I do apologize. I marked a few pages that I just want to touch on, but overall, I think this was a really good story. I like the route that they took it because I kind of felt unsure of how it was going to go. And I felt like just the storyline being that they're mates and she has to live with him or whatever, I felt like that could be really boring. Like that doesn't sound like a very promising story. It feels just more like the plot to a contemporary romance. But I feel like with something like this, where you are having like fantasy elements like werewolves, vampires, there needs to be something else there to like grab your attention. And she did a really good job with this. Not only was there like the whole plot line of the vampires are after her because she's a hybrid and they want to do experiments on her. Obviously she's got to learn how to be a werewolf, learn about like pack mentality, learn about how each pack has their own set of rules. You then have their forbidden love kind of happening. Although they're mates, there's like a reason that they can't be together or don't want to be together. And then on top of that, Serena is grappling with like this really hard thing to come to terms with, and she's lying to everyone about what's going on with her personally. And then on top of that, there's like almost C plot that comes into play. Ends up like, because this happens, it changes the course of the book and allows them to be together, and it makes everyone more accepting of their relationship. And I just really like it. I liked all the elements that were put into it. Like if you just look at this book, you're thinking, oh, silly goofy time. While it was a silly goofy time and I did have like an amazing time, it also did tackle really serious elements. Overall, really enjoyed this book. I did just want to talk about some of my favorite quotes, how deep we got in Serena's past and the way that she was treating, especially because her and Misery even being together in the first place was just to keep her company because she was the collateral. So it's also like this weird like her friend Misery that's like also she calls her sister because they grew up together, whatever, that's her sister. She was off limits because she was the collateral to this big deal that basically just keeps everyone from breaking out. But that Serena was more like touchable, like we could cause her harm, we could just replace her, you know what I mean? So her childhood was almost a little worse in that way. Not that Misery didn't get dealt like a really bad card as well, but like it was almost worse in that way. And I really liked that they touched on that because it's something that like I might not have thought of. I kind of thought her like Misery being attached to her provided her with a level of safety, but I like that it was talked about a little more and like made like very well known that that wasn't the case. And there was also some just chats about like Serena's insecurities and things like that. So I'm just gonna read this. I don't think I'm capable of jealousy. It's a feeling that requires the assumption that something is due, and I've never developed that. years in an orphanage, then Morris, the Collateral's baby doll, will beat the possessiveness out of anyone. And that's just what I'm talking about. Like it's just so good. It's so good. And there were many moments like that where you realize that her self-worth is like actually in the dumpster. Like her self-worth is so low. And I do love that Cohen kind of brings that back into play and just kind of like makes it known what she offers to people, and that like she is valuable by just like being herself. And I love that so much. But overall, I gave it a 4 stars and I had a really good time. I can't wait to see what else she might potentially do in this little interconnected series. I thought it was so fun. I've seen some openings to where she could like make something about that character, but I almost think it would be more fun to get some new characters. I love an interconnected series, but with something like this and with the amount of things that you can do within the realms of fantasy, I think it would be fun to step outside of an interconnected series. But I could see her going in for a few of these characters and giving them a love interest, or perhaps making a few characters be together. But I guess we'll see. I'm really excited for whatever she does in the future. Like I said, I'm an Ali Hazelwood stan. The resort was literally the craziest place I've ever been. I've never been somewhere where there is a dress code to leave the house. There's a dress code for like dining. Specific dining rooms have dress codes and rules. I had a little bit of downtime, but less than I was originally anticipating as the days went on. I feel like those dinners lasted longer than I would have like expected, because it's not like you're all sitting at a table and then you're locked there for the rest of the evening. That's kind of what I was expecting, so I didn't expect it to last too long. But it was kind of like there are various different tables, and then once you're done eating, and then an hour before dinner, people walk around and mingle the whole time. And then whenever they're done, like one night we went to another bar that was like literally a couple like rooms over on the other wing of the freaking castle that we're at, and it's just, that's how they do it. Like these dinners can sometimes last 5 to 6 hours, and that was crazy. I was not expecting that. I thought there was going to be way more downtime in the afternoon, but it was basically like we ate and then mingled and then whatever, and then you know, and then it was like time to go to bed. So that was, I didn't expect that. I didn't expect to be so involved, if that makes sense. Bye.